Saturday, the DC TV universe took their cast members to Comic-Con to unveil trailers and exciting information about their upcoming seasons. Arrow gave us our first look at Season 6 and some additional news as well. Like always, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I make videos pertaining to DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. You can also check out my Comic-Con playlist. Already I have videos on the Justice League trailer and the Young Justice panel as well. So first I'm going to talk about the trailer and then I'll get into the other stuff. The trailer begins with footage from Season 5 recapping Oliver's battle with Adrian Chase. It all leads up to the cliffhanger where we see our first footage of Season 6 showing us what exactly happened on the island. Samantha runs back into the island as Thea follows to find William, hinting that she dies. Felicity and John are seen running in this scene, but the scene that threw me off a little bit was the one with Deathstroke, where Felicity tells Slade that there's a boat on the other side of the island, but Slade says, "You all won't make it in time, I'll take my own chances." To me, it sort of looked like he betrayed them just a tad bit. He didn't help them get to the boat, he was only looking out for himself, which seems a bit funky to me because he spent the entire finale redeeming himself, and then to see this sort of threw me off. So maybe the scene was just added for the trailer and won't be seen in the episode. The producers usually do that, but even so, it seemed a bit weird to see this come out of Slade after what we saw in the finale this year. So based on the island footage, I'll say that Samantha is dead and Thea will be injured somehow physically because she ran back to save Samantha. And John and Felicity might be safe physically. They might be suffering from some sort of PTSD or trauma from that experience. Next we go to William, who clearly is suffering from trauma of sorts after this experience with Chase. Oliver asks him, "Where do you think the bad man is?" And then William points at Oliver. This might indicate that Chase told William all about the bad parts of Oliver, how he's a killer and whatnot. After that, we see Oliver in action, an attack in the precinct, Black Siren versus Black Canary. Then we see Slade lurking in the shadows. This part also threw me off because later on, we see them together shaking hands, sort of like parting ways. Keep in mind that it is in a hospital, so that also confirms that someone was injured physically. But I believe that this scene is just a dream sequence because we see William in this shot right here, and I'm not really sure that William would have been kidnapped, let alone sneak out without Oliver knowing and follow him. That could be a possibility though, but I think what really sells me that this is a dream sequence is that Oliver doesn't have his mask and hood on. He doesn't even have it on him, so there's no way that Oliver will be running around in the open without his hood on, regardless if this is in the woods when he's a public figure this year. I think what's really going on is that Oliver is having a dream about the explosion on the island, and then he sees that all of his friends are dead. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this shot right here, where it looks like he's looking at someone and he simply just closes his eyes as if that person has passed. And then the trailer ends with Oliver jumping off a bridge and then Slade saying, "We walk in two worlds, we can only do that for so long," possibly hinting at Oliver's lifestyle as the Green Arrow and the Mayor becoming one, meaning that he reveals himself as the Green Arrow to the public. I was actually expecting this to happen in Season 5 when the whole scandal happened, when everyone learned that he covered up the death of Billy Malone. It seemed highly possible considering the game Chase was playing, but that didn't happen. Essentially, I would like a moment like this to happen when it's the series' last season, just so it doesn't open up the door for the bad guys to attack Oliver's family so easily. But overall, I thought that this was a good trailer. I am really pumped for Season 6. It's also important to note that Renee, Curtis, Felicity, Diggle, Lance, and Thea aren't shown in the trailer besides that scene in the island. Obviously, they want to keep whatever it is that happened to those people a secret by not featuring them in the trailer, but that also means that those people are going to be dealing with the explosion heavily this season. They're going to be the ones that are going to be affected the most after that experience. Slade and Dinah are fair game, but as for everyone else, we'll have to keep an eye on them. Now onto some of the things that were revealed during the panel. The villain for Season 6 will not be just one person, it will actually be a group this year, think in the lines of the Legion of Doom. The crew will include actor Michael Emerson, whose character has not been revealed yet, David Nichol reprising his role as Anatoly, and Richard Dragon. I'm 99% sure that it will be the Ricardo Diaz Richard Dragon. There was a casting description for Ricardo Diaz that was out a while ago. Male, 30 to 40s, diverse, hardened ex-con recently released from prison for crimes he didn't commit. Ricardo uses his freedom and $25 million in settlement money to establish control over Star City's criminal underworld. He is a martial arts and fighting expert honed by years of life on the street and in prison. After reading this, it seemed quite possible that this could be the villain of the season. It's highly in the lines of what a good villain for Arrow would be. Someone who's a street fighter, someone who is very grounded. Diaz will probably be the leader of this group with Michael Emerson's character and Anatoly by his side, and also possibly Black Siren as well. Diaz did form a group to kill the Green Arrow in the comics called the Longbow Hunters, so it seems highly possible that this is the team that will be fighting against Team Arrow this season. The Longbow Hunters in the comics consisted of Count Vertigo, Brick, Killer Moth, and Red Dart. Count Vertigo and Brick already exist on the show, however Killer Moth and Red Dart do not. My money is that Michael Emerson will be playing Killer Moth. Mark Guggenheim did state that we'd be getting an announcement about Richard Dragon in the future. The flashbacks will continue, however they won't be featured in every episode, and they'll be based on different characters. Early examples would be with Renee this past season, Malcolm Merlyn, Deadshot, and Felicity in past seasons. Slade will be getting a 2-part story arc during the first half of the season, and it might include a flashback story as well. Oliver will be more of a dad this season to William. Stephen Amell did state that Oliver is a shit dad. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think Elena and Helix will be returning this season, and Vigilante will be returning as well. He's 100% coming back. The producers did say they did reconfirm that it would be somebody that we've seen before. Reza is also coming back. She was the housemaid from the very first episode. It seems like while Oliver is away being Green Arrow and the mayor, Reza will be around to raise William. And as for the crossover this season, it will be a DC storyline from the comics, so start speculating on what that might be. So what news were you most excited about to hear from Comic-Con about Arrow, and what are your thoughts on the trailer? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more videos on Arrow Season 6. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and also check out my Comic-Con playlist where I'll post breakdowns for The Flash, Thor Ragnarok, and more next. Other than that, my name is Jobi-Wan Kenobi. May the Force be with you, and have a marvelous day from the LA to the DC.